November 1922. Deep beneath the sands of the Egyptian's desert, a crack of torchlight pierces ancient darkness. Howard Carter, an ambitious archaeologist, leans into a doorway sealed for over 3,000 years. He peers inside. "Can you see anything?" a voice behind him asks. Carter replies, "Yes, wonderful things." He has found the untouched tomb of King Tutankhamun, but from that moment forward, death follows. Within months, Lord Carnarvon, the man who funded the expedition, is dead. Then others fall. Scientists, visitors, even Carter's pet bird. Newspapers scream, Pharaoh's curse strikes again. But is the curse real? Or is it a tale born of fear, coincidence, and sensational headlines? The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb was one of the greatest archaeological finds in history. A treasure trove untouched by grave robbers. Glistening gold, intricate relics, and a perfectly preserved sarcophagus of a boy king who died mysteriously at 19. But the world didn't just marvel at the artifacts. They obsessed over the deaths that followed. Was it ancient vengeance, a supernatural curse, or something more rational? It began with obsession. Howard Carter had been searching the Valley of the Kings for years. Most believed the area had been fully explored, but Carter was convinced that one tomb remained hidden, that of a relatively unknown pharaoh named Tutankhamun. In 1922, with financial backing from Lord Carnarvon, Carter found what he was looking for. A staircase carved into the rock, a sealed doorway with royal stamps, and behind it, a treasure chamber, untouched. Inside were over 5,000 items: chariots, weapons, statues, jewelry, and the iconic golden funerary mask. The burial chamber held the mummified body of Tutankhamun. The world was stunned. The tomb was nearly intact. It was a window into a lost world. But then, the deaths began. Lord Carnarvon died just months after the tomb's opening. Cause: an infected mosquito bite. But that didn't stop rumors. When his dog howled and dropped dead the same night, the legend took hold. Soon others died too. A radiologist who x-rayed the mummy, a visitor who mocked the tomb, a staff member struck by a car. The press connected every death to the curse. But Carter, who opened the tomb, lived until 1939. So what was really going on? The idea of a pharaoh's curse predates Tutankhamun. Ancient Egyptians deeply believed in protecting the dead. Tombs often contained warnings. Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the king. No such inscription was found in Tut's tomb. But newspapers in the 1920s didn't care. The idea of an ancient curse was too sensational to resist. Headlines screamed, "Death comes for tomb robbers." Ancient curse claims another victim. The phrase, "curse of the pharaoh," became a global phenomenon. People claimed Carter's canary was eaten by a cobra, symbol of pharaohs. Others said Carnarvon's lights went out across Cairo the night he died. Some even pointed to broken artifacts as signs of spiritual unrest. Books, films, and horror stories added fuel to the fire. And once the idea took hold, every death felt like more proof. Never mind that Carter and most of his team lived for decades. The legend had a life of its own. So, if there was no curse written in the tomb, what explains the deaths? Scientists have proposed several theories. 1. Toxic mold and bacteria. Tombs sealed for thousands of years can develop dangerous fungi. One such mold, Aspergillus flavus, produces toxins that can harm the lungs. Could Carnarvon's weak immune system have been overwhelmed? 2. Arsenic and ancient chemicals. Preservation chemicals used in mummification may have broken down into harmful substances over time. Arsenic gas or mercury fumes could have lingered in closed chambers. Third coincidence. Some researchers point out that most of the deaths occurred years apart. In fact, a study of everyone involved with the tomb found their lifespans were above average. 4. Psychological effects. The power of belief is strong. Fear of the curse may have triggered real symptoms in sensitive individuals. Today, archaeologists take precautions when opening sealed spaces, not because of magic, but because of microbes. The ancient dead may not strike from beyond the grave, but mold spores just might. In many ways, the curse of King Tut is a media invention. The 1920s were an age of sensationalism. Tabloid papers competed to outdo one another with scandal, mystery, and horror. And the opening of a pharaoh's tomb, pure gold. Journalists had limited access to the actual tomb, so they filled the gaps with imagination. Murder plots, ghost sightings, ancient spells, even respected publications ran with the story. Authors wrote novels blending fact and fiction. Hollywood made horror films featuring mummies that awakened with a grudge. And just like that, Tutankhamun's name became immortal. Not for what he did in life, but for what came after his death. The media created a myth so strong it endures a century later. And the real Tutankhamun, still mostly a mystery. A young king whose legacy was rewritten by Western obsession. So, was there ever a curse? Not in any ancient writing, not in scientific evidence, but in the minds of millions. Absolutely. The curse of King Tut is a perfect storm, a dramatic discovery, a series of strange deaths, and a media hungry for headlines. It shows how stories become legends, and how mystery always finds a way to survive. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more unsolved mysteries, ancient legends, and historical deep dives, and let us know in the comments. Do you believe in the Pharaoh's curse? Or do you think it's all just myth?